joining me to look at the decision of the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu in choosing former Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima as his running mate for the 2023 elections, and the chances of the APC retaining power with the Muslim ticket is Dr. Abubajar Alkali, who is a politician and convener Movement for New Nigeria. He was also a presidential aspirant in 2019, and of course recently in the party. And then of course we have Honorable Jonathan Ipaa, who is a journalist, political activist, and of course the chairman of the Middle Belt Journalists Forum here in the nation's capital, Abuja. So good to have you, gentlemen. And I'd like to start with you, Ipaa. Yeah. What exactly is your view about the nomination of Kashim Shettima, coming from the Northeast, a Muslim, and then of course you have Bola Tinubu, who comes from the Southwest and who is a Muslim, and the ticket now is a Muslim ticket?
Well, first and foremost, we from the Middle Belt are known for the struggle for Nigerian unity. Our parents fought to make sure Nigeria remain one as it is today. And so therefore it came as a shock that a politician of Bola Ahmed Seraju, with a large experience, exposure, he has been there for a very long time, could undermine the diversity of the Nigerian society as it is today. And they want to repeat what happened in 1993 during the MKO Abiola and Babagana Kingibe. So if you put the scenario together with what is obtainable in the current Nigerian political space, they are not the same. With a lot of insecurity, attacks on churches, of course, on mosques, so many people with the body language of his party as it is today. You see a lot of political appointments lopsided as it is. And for him to come, one will expect that he will create a balance, try to understand and appreciate the diversity of these people. Of course, he has quite a number of his party men and women who are in that APC. For instance, we have Governor Simon Bakola, who is currently the chairman of Northern Governors Forum, a good fit for his running mate. If the governor of Plateau is not good, probably somebody like Boss Mustafa from Adamawa, who is also a ranking member of that party. Of course, not forgetting even Yaya Bello from Kogi, who contested the same primaries with him in that election.
Yaya Bello will be a Muslim too. I mean, he's another Muslim.
The point we're making here is, if he must pick a Muslim ticket, and that Muslim ticket ought to have come from the Middle Belt and not where he has chosen to pick one. What we're saying is, when you have a sitting president as a presidential candidate as a Muslim, you have his running mate as a Muslim, and probably the Chief Justice of Nigeria currently as it is, a Muslim, and you end up having a Senate president. Well, for instance, these are the permutations. I'm telling you what people are saying outside.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. I actually don't know the fate of the new acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, but of course, the previous one was actually of the Muslim faith. But what I want to state very clearly here is that you are saying that you don't have a problem if you had picked someone from the North Central,
from the Middle Belt,
who's still a Muslim.
Yeah.
So in one way or the other, you back it there.
No, I didn't say so. The point I'm trying to portray is, if he must, because he used the word competence, I want to expect that there is no state of the federation currently in Nigeria as it is that you would lack material, vice presidential material for a presidential candidate to pick from. Okay. If you talk about Plateau, I mentioned one. If you talk about Adamawa, I mentioned one. You talk names like Yakubu Dogara and the rest of them, we also mentioned. If you come down to Nasarawa, we have quite a number of them. For it means for Bola Tinubu to have gone outside his way, or maybe because of certain pressure from certain quarters and undermine some quarters, it's like he is prepared to risk the vote coming from this axis.
All right. Of course, I hope you know that the national chairman of the APC comes from the North Central. He wouldn't do that because it will lead to lots of problems in the party. Now, you are a party member. What exactly would you say about this choice by Bola Tinubu?
Oh, thank you very much, Editor Sambo. And thank you also for the invite. I will first of all congratulate His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, for scaling this hurdle and getting the nomination as the running mate to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And Yes, I absolutely have no problem with a Muslim ticket, just as I will not have a problem with a Christian ticket. And obviously, if you look at it from the context of some of the reasons that the anti-Muslim ticket proponents are saying, you actually won't have any option, but to listen to them, because they talk of balance. You see, a balanced country, inclusivity. They talk of, some of these other issues that have, I will say, dragged us back for a very long time. Religion, they talk of region, they talk of ethnicity. Okay, so from that context of balance, you may give them a fair hearing. But from the context of a religion, from the context of region, from the context of ethnicity, you actually have to follow this. For me, there is absolutely no problem, as I said, with a Muslim ticket. I think these factors that have held us for far too long, have held us back, it's actually high time that we look ahead. It's high time that we jettison them. It's high time we just jettison them. It's high time we.
But why are we not jettisoning the issue of region? If you are saying that religion is a problem, we play region and religion very well as a card in Nigeria. So if you are saying that the issue of religion should be jettisoned, then why are we not saying that the issue of region should also be jettisoned?
Well, Editor, now the crux of the matter is the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended. And in that Constitution, which is the foremost law of the land, there is nowhere, no line, where it was stated that if you have a Muslim as presidential candidate, then you must have a Christian as running mate, and vice versa. There is nowhere.
There's the issue of federal character.
There is the issue of federal character. But then this federal character, I think it is a matter of argument whether it applies to the highest office in the land. Because if you look at it, this argument, this debate has been going on for a very long time. My colleague just said 1993. This is 30 years. The issue of zoning has been on for a very, very long time. As a matter of fact, each 4-year cycle, immediately after the swearing of the president, the next thing that we go into is where is the next president coming from? For how long, Editor, are we going to continue?
Okay, but of course, just before I come to you, I want to ask you this. If we flip this side of the coin, will the North accept a Christian ticket?
Absolutely.
Based on geopolitics in the
country? Absolutely. I think there is one thing that we have to actually look at here. Zoning, which obviously includes this religious dimension, is actually a prerogative of the party. A party can actually choose to pick you no matter where you are from in the country, as long as you are in Nigeria, as long as you are over 40 years, as long as you have a minimum secondary school qualification. The party can actually choose to pick you. As long as it knows it is going to win the election, you can win the election.
Yeah, I mean, let's be very clear here. You have said it, and I think I like that balance. You have said that the candidate hasn't committed any offense against the Constitution by nominating this person. Whether it's of the same faith or not, the Constitution didn't talk about that. Now let's talk about the issues that the Christian Association of Nigeria and then other minorities in the North have against this, because I've seen and read some things you wrote that the minorities in the North are unhappy that none of them was given an opportunity, especially in the country. But the thing is that Kashim Shettima is a Kanuri from the North, and we know that that's not so much of the big 3 or big 4 tribes in the country. So doesn't he qualify as another minority?
Editor, you are a journalist like I am, and we move around these politicians. We understand their body language, and when it comes to issues like this, what we're saying is this: Nigeria as it is today is different from the Nigeria of 1993. When MK Bola would go to any part of the country, even beat Bashir Tofa in Kano, even with Babagana Kingibe as his running mate. The Nigeria between that time and now have changed. The body language of these people matters. What is happening today is that the people who are in APC, like my brother here, when he gets back to his house, he has people that he has to answer. We have people like the likes of Yakubu Dogara, the likes of Boss Mustafa, the likes of Simon Bakola, wherever they are today, when they get to their churches, these are the issues that they are being confronted with.
Yeah, but if they are not forceful, or if the candidate doesn't want them, because let's not forget,
but
the
it
issue
should
of
have come from
vice
somebody like Bola
is the
Tinubu, an experienced
prerogative of
politician.
the candidate, not even the party, to nominate his
the
deputy.
party and the candidate must pick a candidate that can bring inclusiveness. We're talking of inclusiveness. We're talking about the secularity of Nigeria. We're talking about the interests of other people. When you are a Muslim from Lagos and you choose to come north, and we have Christians in the north, don't forget, the likes of Yakubu Dogara, that die-hard APC members, they are from the north. The likes of Simon Bakola and the George Akume of this world, they are from the north. They are die-hard members of his party. The likes of the former SGF boss, quite a number of them. They are. Even in Adam, Borno, the southern Borno, where Kashim was a former governor. We also have some Christians there that can also meet up with. For this argument of not having competent people in the north that are from a different faith other than that of Kashim, Senator Kashim, is what we are talking about.
Yeah, okay. You have some points there, but now let's look at the geopolitics of the country. We have seen instances where people are saying that Governor Zulum is the best governor in the country because of the things that he does. Now, Governor Zulum has a Muslim deputy.
My brother,
if you go to some states in the south, you see they have Christian deputies, Christian governor, Christian deputies. In the north central you're talking about, there are several states where you have Christian governor, Christian deputy, and all of that. While I understand in some states they try to balance it, but isn't this about performance?
This is not military regime. This is democracy. Democracy is all about enhancing the unity of the people, the welfare of the citizen, getting their support to bring the dividends of democracy on the table. From the beginning, you are picking a candidate that a large segment of the people, as it is now, the large segment of the Christian communities have already voiced, I don't speak for that, I'm speaking from the middle belt, that a large segment of the people are already against that arrangement. And you still go ahead and do. What do? You've already annexed a large quantum of your supporters.
So it may affect the APC's vote?
Of course. You don't need to
and I come to you.
You don't need to.
Let's look at the experiment that Malam Nasir El-Rufai tried to do in Kaduna State. What he did is exactly like what Tinubu has done. For the geopolitics of it in the state, he balanced the north and the southern part of the state. But he brought someone of the same faith. And of course, the new governorship candidate now has also done the same, Ubasani, by still returning the same deputy governor as his own deputy governorship candidate. Now, has that experiment worked very well, or it's created more chaos in the state?
Well, look, Editor, I will say that we have to come out of that shelf. We have to come out of that cocoon of sentiments.
Yeah, but those are political dynamics that we have to live with.
I agree with you. I agree with you. To answer your question, the experiment in Kaduna State worked. Why did I say so? Because at the end of the day, the APC won the election, and we have not seen any side effects. Of course, people will talk. Even if His Excellency Governor El-Rufai had chosen a Christian, people would still have talked. People will still complain one way or the other. So what the point here is, we should take that experiment in Kaduna State as a springboard. We should take what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the APC, has done as a launch pad that will propel us towards moving away from this politics, from this mentality of saying, look, Editor, before you are appointed into this office, you will have to be from this region.
I'm interested in finding out if that also hinders governance, because you're forced to choose someone from another region or religion. It doesn't make you to come out fully. For example, if Tinubu wins this election, can it bring out the best in him? Because people can hold him accountable and say, you decided to go this route, so you must deliver.
Well, as His Excellency, the presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said, he went for competence. And also, behind that, there are other issues. There are actually, electoral value of the candidate. You have to look at that. You see, if now, for example, you are asked to lead a union and you are asked to choose a deputy, the first thing before you is to look at someone, identify someone that you can comfortably work with, that can complement your efforts. Okay?
Yeah, so it's all about the votes that you're saying. Who can bring the votes? Who
can bring the votes? And again, also, who is it that I'm at home with? Who is it that that chemistry exists? That kind of thing. You don't want to bring someone that may turn out to be a square peg in a round hole, someone that may not align with some of the things you say, some of the objectives of the party. So that is also another issue.
Yeah, but I want to come back to the history of this nation. When we started this federation in 1960, the very first prime minister we had was a Muslim, and then the president, which was like in quote the deputy then, was an Nnamdi Azikiwe from the southeast, and who was of the Christian faith. Don't you think that the founding fathers of this nation were very careful in ensuring that delicate balance was there so as to appease all parts of the country?
That brings us to the issue of unity and inclusiveness I was talking about. Even later after that, the days of ex-president rest in peace, Shehu Shagari, you could see the balance when he was the president and Alex Ekweme from the south was
even the military did all those balances.
Fine. The point we're trying to make here is he gave an instance of Kaduna where Governor Nasir El-Rufai went to southern Kaduna and then still pick a Muslim so that he can test run the Muslim. That is not even a perfect example.
Because he was looking for competence. Yeah. That's what El-Rufai said too.
His former, there's no way you can say you go to, there's just one single local government in the southern Canada, you can say there's no competent hands that can run as a deputy governor pick. That was even faulty. But even as that, as you can see, the whole of Kaduna, you cannot even go to Kaduna. You cannot even run out of Kaduna and come all the villages everywhere.
So it has failed.
He has failed. That's what I'm saying. It has failed. We should be able to pick an example that works, not the one that failed. If you talk about Babagana Kingibe, Chief MKO Bola and the Babagana Kingibe, did that one also succeed? They won, but they were not inaugurated because there was.
But isn't that the dream of our fathers, the founding fathers of the country, that we'll have a nation where religion doesn't matter and region doesn't matter?
But editor, if you're talking about religion not being a yardstick, and you're talking about competencies, and we're talking of a president, a government that its head is one-sided, the deputy is one-sided, the other side is sided. The other component who also want to be part of the national cake. But in any case, Bola Ahmed Tinubu must have probably think the election is between the APC and the PDP as we witnessed in 2019. The scenario in 2023 is different. I'm sure
especially with the entry of the and all of that.
Comers coming who are springing, they're moving around. If you think this is only on the social media that you're hearing the obedient and the Kwankwasi and other various groups that are coming, then you are making a joke.
Oh, okay, but there's this thinking I've been having, gentlemen. Isn't there a balance there? If we are to look at the top three contenders, you have Bola Tinubu on the one hand, and then having a Kashim Shettima, who is a Muslim, right? And then we have Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, who is from the northeast, and then a Muslim, and then he has someone from the south who is a Christian, and then you have Peter Obi, who is from the southeast, and he has someone from the northwest who is a Muslim. So Peter Obi and Ifeanyi Okowa, they would divide the Christian votes. And then you have Tinubu and Atiku, who are of the same faith, who will divide the Muslim vote. Isn't that still a sort of balance, if you have to look at it?
Editor, I would prefer a situation where this comes, spontaneously, this comes randomly, rather than being a law of the land. I would prefer a situation where it just comes. This is good. It's good. The balance, the mix is good. But it should not be a situation where we will, waste years upon years talking about this balance. It should come spontaneously. And that is why I keep saying that if we are to move this from being, a discussion on the table to a law in the land, because that's what some people are actually trying to do.
Yeah,
If we had to do that, if we had to do
it,
we have to go to the National Assembly.
Yeah.
We have to amend that constitution.
No,
Just yeah, of course.
You
Of
think
course.
that wouldn't cause an uproar?
No.
Without
If we
going
have
to the National Assembly, it's left for the candidate to use their wisdom, their political wisdom.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
what
why
I
I pointed you
said.
back to the past. I mean, when our founding fathers put this on the table, they were thinking of ethno
Absolutely.
balancing, religious balancing, and all of that. But just before we go, I want to ask you a question. If this experiment is based on competence and Bola Tinubu of your party is saying he's bringing this, why hasn't he tried it in Lagos? Because we've always seen in Lagos a governor who's a Muslim being balanced with a Christian and all of that, although they've tried this Muslim ticket at some point. But why is it that it's not so much promoted in the Lagos that he's coming from?
Yeah, well, you know, politics is very dynamic. And editor, this country will be what it should be when the son of nobody becomes somebody. If we continue to think this way, if we continue to have this mentality, that is not going to happen.
Yeah, but
now,
you have Sanwo-Olu who is a Christian and he has a Muslim deputy.
That's right. That's why I said.
I mean, it was put there for, and if we keep hearing and we believe that whatever he said in Lagos is true, Tinubu is the one who plays this card. So if he's the one playing it, why didn't he play Muslim ticket in Lagos?
Why Asiwaju didn't play it is because politics is a very dynamic game. The dynamics can change at every point in time.
Or maybe the dynamics in Lagos are different from that of the national level. Is that
obviously,
what you're saying?
obviously. You know, when you have a situation, you actually respond to situations, you take issues as they come based on their peculiarities. The Lagos peculiarity cannot be same as Nigeria's peculiarity. The dynamics have changed.
Yeah, but
Sumner,
he said that it may affect your vote, especially in the issues of the obedience and all of that.
I'll give you an example.
That's very quickly.
I'll give you an example. You know, there was a placeholder, that's Masari, who has now withdrawn. And that ran for about, 2-3 weeks. I mean, you were following it, obviously. Was there any serious backlash about it? That was a test run. And the nation
they already knew that it was a test run.
It was absorbed.
Okay, very quickly before we go now, what do you think should be the solution now? Because it's clear now that Tinubu has chosen and made his choice.
He has thrown his wisdom and past experience to the dustbin and make use of maybe from a pressure from certain quarters to arrive at where he is today. And definitely there's going to be a political repercussion on that during the election, because the other party will have versed heavily on
what's that party? Is it the Labour Party or PDP?
But of course the PDP is there. They have created a balance. The Labour Party have also created a balance. We are still waiting for Kwankwa, so he might decide to create a balance. And if that happens, it means Tinubu will be left alone with his fanatical ticket. And at the end of the day, even the Yoruba clergy might decide to turn against him.
Very quickly, in 30 seconds,
very quickly. Where we have this problem is because we borrowed this democracy. We borrowed the presidential system. We borrowed the parliamentary system. We don't have our own system. So how we can solve this problem, to respond to your question,
very quickly,
if we have our own homegrown, uniquely Nigerian brand of democracy.
Okay, so and you think that's what Tinubu is doing with his choice?
Well, that's a step.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abubajar Alkali, who is a politician, convener movement for a new Nigeria, and of course a former presidential aspirant. You're of the All Progressives Congress, and of course we have Jonathan Ipaa, who's the chairman of the Middle Belt Journalist Forum. He's also been a political consultant, media strategist, and all of that to several politicians. So much thank you for being on the show. Well, that's how it's been for this edition of the Arise interview. Do join us again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, goodbye and thank you for watching. I'm Somna Sambo.